International award-winning filmmaker and entrepreneur. She has spoken about her infertility through her film, When Babies Don't Come. She has inspired many and given a voice to many men and women with the same condition. Let's give her a round of applause.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You're all welcome. I'm happy to be standing in front of you this morning. My name is Molatelo Mainetje-Bossman. Thank you for that introduction. I am a filmmaker. I am an entrepreneur, a founder of Molatelo Media Group, and I'm also one of the directors of IFASA. I'm based in Tzaneen in Limpopo province. I'm here with my husband, Mr. Jojo Bossman. My topic is mainly on infertility in African cultures. I am an African woman. I was born and bred in Hamujaji, rural South Africa, even though I relocated many years ago to Johannesburg. I'm still largely grounded in a rural area called Block 5. So while I go about in Johannesburg doing whatever I do, I'm still guided by the culture and tradition of my people back home. So as an introduction to what I'm gonna be talking about, I am gonna ask that I screen a snippet. It's about 6 minutes long, from the film that I produced based on my journey and struggle with infertility that I filmed over 10 years. It was released in 2018. We have screened internationally and won several international awards. It's been 2 years now, and the experience has been overwhelming. So I'm just gonna screen that short film, and I hope it will paint a picture of what I'm going to talk about. Okay? So. Okay, that's all I needed to do.
As a teenager, you grow up, looking at yourself as a woman to say, I want to grow up to be a woman, I want to grow up to be a mother, I want to grow up to be a wife. That's the kind of environment you look at your mother and you just want to be like her. So high monangwaon. Umsadi because utokomela kai, umsadi because ubele habana, umsadi because onyadwe. I knew I had one tube left. One, I lost it when I had an ectopic pregnancy in 1999. So the doctor advised us to go and do laparoscopy to check on the other tube because we had to be very careful since I had one left to make sure that it's not blocked. So when I went to the clinic, I went to Garden City Clinic, they checked only to find that the tube was irreparably damaged.
You understand what is happening?
Yes.
Because of the absence of fallopian tubes, you will not be able to conceive. And subsequently, one would say the best for you is to do in vitro fertilization.
I feel empty. I feel I'm like a half woman. I can't have children. I know they might be, asking themselves what's wrong with Molatelo, and she doesn't have any children. Perhaps maybe they tell themselves that that's what I wanna do. Maybe they tell themselves that it's by choice that I don't have children. But all what I'm here to do is to say to them, look, this is me. I have a problem. Na ke nola bothatanyana ke nora re motho o mongwe le bela setelele mo ile hore ka ba ile hore re a o bona wa bereka mara lo re thusa le ka moya wa re thusa mara be nong o no lo go ngwe ka mo o ruta o khona o bontsha re kwena mosadi se apala.
What was the main idea? The main idea was to get the egg to meet the sperm, and the end product must be inside the uterus. So if that is the idea, can't we collect the egg? And yes, we can.
Ke ben ke nora hore ke a dumelwa hore na nka khona ke die ka mkhoelong hore ke bona e ka o ya ka nna ke tusa bona ke tusa e ka re nga thusa ka ona na
ai ga nna ona ke amoela o ya ga mkhonta se jona ke ya khotsopana ke ya botsiga ba la rona ba lo ke ba drabe wa ba drabe re khuba ka se laba ka mga bre bele nna ke amoela ke tsebar le ba ke bona bo muka mga bana ba tsenge re ba amoela
bali mulu bana ba re do ba re abanyaga ba ka daba golela re nyaga bana ba mulugulle re ngaga yo e shumiswe ke bali le
What you see in the background here is part of our celebrations. It's a ceremony called Mupaso. It's a process of informing our sisters or asking for blessings, to let them open ways for us to speak to God on our behalf. Ask whatever we want and, for them to speak to God on our behalf.
Okay, thank you very much. In 2006, I found out I can never fall pregnant naturally. I felt isolated. I felt the dream that I had when I was still a young girl of growing up to become a woman was almost coming to an end. As a filmmaker, I wrestled with the idea of making a film for 2 years. I was scared because I knew that I was going to expose myself. People looked at me as this perfect young girl who's got a booming career. And I didn't want to expose myself in a way that, I will seem to have a weakness. But as a filmmaker, I think the storytelling back in me overpowered all that fear. And in 2007, I started documenting myself. I'm sure you can see from tiny little girl, that was about 10 years ago, and I'm almost double that size now. So yes, and 10 years later, I am a mother, and I'm very proud to say I have traveled this journey. I have dealt with all the fears, and the making of the film somehow was therapy to me. I am okay today because, people often ask me, after all that, did you go for counseling? And I said, no, I didn't need to go for counseling. The making of the film allowed me the opportunity to express myself as much as I wanted. Because after I came out in 2007, when I was making this film, I started attracting a lot of media attention. I started giving interviews, TV, radio, print. And for that, for me, was sort of dealing with the fear. So it helped me a great deal because I'm standing here in front of you today because, yes, it's because of my infertility journey, but also it's because I came out and broke the silence about this matter that we hardly want to talk about. Infertility is such a universal thing. Yes, I spoke about isolation earlier, but what I have learned having conversations with women and men from all walks of life, black, white, yellow, green, South Africans, and beyond the borders of South Africa, there is one thing that is common among all of us, that the struggle, yet we may come from different backgrounds, but the struggle, personal struggles are the same. The pain that I feel is the pain that is felt by a lady next door, even when we come from different backgrounds. However, having, like myself, coming from a black community, rural area, as you have seen yourself, the burden, the name calling, the stigma, I think is just so different, especially because we have our own practical, traditional practices that while you're battling your personal, with your personal struggles with infertility, there's also societal expectations. Yesterday, I shared experiences that I have as an African girl who grew up in a rural area, that you get to be reminded day in, day out of your struggle with infertility, of your condition, of your inability to give birth, day in, day out. And sometimes it is deliberate, but sometimes it is not. I'll give you an example. In my community where I come from, in my own family, the minute you give birth, you lose your first name. Molatelo falls off. You are now called so-and-so's mother, so-and-so's mother. And I am a firstborn in a family of 6. 5 girls and 1 boy. All 4 girls, they are mothers, they have children. And guess what? They call them by so-and-so's mother, so-and-so's mother. Still the firstborn, I don't have a child. What do they call me? Molatelo. So when I started making this film, I got an opportunity. You saw I had a meeting with my family. Can you imagine what more went beyond the cameras rolling? One of the things I told them was the fact that they're calling me by Molatelo when everyone else is being called so-and-so's mother, so-and-so's mother. You can't believe the reaction I got from my family. They were so shocked. They didn't realize that by doing so, they were actually discriminating against me. They didn't realize that somehow they were hurting me. So from that time on, they started calling me by Mamuhulu. Mamuhulu is like a big aunt. So somehow recognizing the fact that, yes, I may not be a biological mother, but I need to be respected as a firstborn. So those are some of the things that we are not even aware that people who are struggling with infertility may be feeling. We may not be aware that we're actually discriminating against women like myself. Another example, when my mother got married, she was given the name Molatelo. Her name, Mukhadi, somehow fell off, and she was now called Molatelo. When I was born, then they named me Molatelo. What happens in a situation where Molatelo doesn't give birth? She has inherited this name, Molatelo. And I'm not even about to say, let's not practice the cultural, our tradition and culture the way we usually do. I'm not about to suggest that. I'm only saying, those of us who have the means to educate, these are the kind of messages that we need to share with our people back home and say, you know, yes, we have our traditional practices, but can we also, let's think about the things that we may be doing that may be harmful to the people that we love. So as a woman in a rural area like you saw on the screen here, there are conversations you can't have with people. Family gatherings. There are things you cannot discuss, mainly because, I don't know, maybe because, I'm not going to say because the definition of a woman, I battled with it when I was making the film. And I finally made peace with the fact that I am actually a woman, whether I have given birth or not. Earlier on when I introduced myself, I said, I am a mother. I have 5 minutes. Thank you. I did indicate that I was a mother. The other thing that as black people in rural setup, we boxed parenthood in, you have to give birth to be a mother. I am a mother because I'm raising my sister's daughter. She calls me mommy, she calls my husband daddy, but she also still has her biological parents. She calls them mama and papa. So that for me has given me the opportunity to become a mother. And you'll be surprised the reaction that I get when you compare it with before I started raising my sister's child and now. Some of them now even call me Mamuhulu or Amukelani's mom as well. So one thing that, the message that I want to drive across is that I kept saying, I just want to breastfeed my own child. Mainly because we are so much consumed in, I want to have my own child my way so society can accept me as a woman. We are forgetting that there is adoption, there are other forms of parenthood that may come in and is the pain that we feel. For me personally, I think raising my sister's child has helped me immensely. Not for other people, but also for my own personal gain as well. I've grown so much as a woman ever since I started raising my sister's child. So in closing, I would like to say, yes, we are here. We are privileged to be here to interact, to network, and also share experiences with other people. Let's think about the women who may not even know what the cause of their infertility is. They may not even have the resources to go visit a gynecologist. Can we drive the message back home to say, can also those who are not directly affected by the condition, let's break the silence. Let's start communicating, let's start talking about this condition. Because the way it is so stigmatized, for me, with what I experienced throughout the years, is that it's the silence that, infertility has, the stigma, the names. So the minute we start talking about this condition and treat it as a normal medical condition, the minute we start doing that, the minute we start normalizing conversations around this, I don't see in the long run, I don't see us sitting here still having this kind of conversations. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for lending me your ear, listening to my experience with infertility. And I'm saying I am here. I am one of the directors of IFASA, and our mission is to drive this message out there. And in the long run, Saskia and Leandra and Megan, I hope we go to the rural areas and try and send this message across. Thank you very much.